Coming up, new countries and continents. What flights will be launched from Kazakhstan to foreign countries? Learn shortly. Kazakh phalerist Kairbek Ramazanov has been assembling his unique collection of 20,000 pieces for over half a century. Watch our news digest for all the details. Ahead of Stanford, Harvard, and Oxford, innovative project by Nazarbayev University students won gold in a worldwide synthetic biology competition. Stay tuned. Kazakhstan reported 1,125 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. North Kazakhstan region accounts for the highest single-day caseload in the country. 149 new cases were reported there in the past day. Karaganda region follows with 130 new infections. The city of Almaty is in the third place with 123 new confirmed coronavirus cases. Since the beginning of the pandemic, total COVID-19 cases in Kazakhstan have passed 961,000. According to the data provided by the country's health ministry, more than 30,000 Kazakh residents continue to receive treatment for coronavirus. Over 6,500 of them are in inpatient care. To date, 7,908,380 Kazakh citizens have been fully vaccinated against the virus. Coronavirus booster vaccination campaign for the elderly has started in the Netherlands. The first to receive the booster dose was a 90-year-old resident of The Hague. Despite the fact that almost 85% of Dutch adults in the country were fully vaccinated, the National Healthcare Institute has recently registered more than 23,000 new cases of infection. Everything will be all right. This is the third time already, so it's becoming a routine. I'm lucky I got the last one. I had to go quite a long way, but at least I will receive the vaccine. Germany intends to seriously tighten restrictive measures due to the high number of COVID-19 cases. The new rules will come into force after the approval by the Federal Council and at the regional levels. First of all, they might affect the country's public transport. Only vaccinated people, those who have had coronavirus and citizens who tested negative, will be allowed to ride buses, subway, and trains. Moreover, unvaccinated will have to pass COVID-19 tests every day to get to their workplaces. In general, the restrictions will depend on the burden on clinics. If hospitals can no longer cope with the number of patients, even tighter measures will be introduced.
Die Lage ist hochdramatisch.
The situation is dramatic. We must act quickly and consistently. We also need to improve control and carefully monitor whether we were able to stop the dynamics of new infections or at least slow it down. With the current figures, we are in a very difficult situation. There is a heavy burden on doctors and intensive care units.
In eine sehr, sehr schwierige Situation rein, insbesondere.
The proper wearing of face masks reduces the risk of COVID-19 infection by more than half. This means of protection is one of the most effective non-pharmaceuticals in the fight against coronavirus. These are the results of a global study by scientists from the University of Edinburgh and Monash University, Australia. Along with this, researchers found that social distancing and regular hand washing reduced the risk of COVID-19 disease by 25%. The results of the research were obtained by scientists based on analyzing more than 30 studies from around the world, in which over 390,000 people took part. The new air route connected the city of Almaty and the capital of Qatar, Doha. According to the press service of the Kazakh Ministry of Industry and Infrastructure Development, flights will be carried out 2 times a week on Airbus A320 aircraft. It was planned to open this direction in the spring of last year, but the dates were shifted due to the pandemic. From December 1st, regular flights will open between Kazakhstan and Kuwait, more precisely Almaty and Kuwait City. The Civil Aviation Committee is actively working on the restoration of international routes. Flights to 23 countries were resumed to date. Among them are the United Kingdom, Hungary, Maldives, Russia, Georgia, Sri Lanka. Since the beginning of the year, the number of passengers carried has increased by 81%, which is almost 7 million people. Kazakh Ministry of Agriculture summed up the results of the harvesting campaign. Despite the bad weather conditions, the farmers harvested 16.4 million tons of grain. The average yield is 10.3 centners per hectare. Specialists believe that it is quite enough both for the domestic market and export. The quality of the grain is at a high level. Almost all of the harvested wheat is food-grade wheat. More than 90.5% of wheat is classified in first to third grades. Also, there is a significant increase in the proportion of grains high in gluten. The harvested volume of rye, corn, legumes, and buckwheat grew significantly this year. The harvest of the latter amounted to over 80,000 tons, which is 76% more than in 2020. $14.5 tons of Saxaul tree seeds from the Ile-Balkhash Nature Reserve will be sent to Qazakh region. Specialists from the national parks and nature reserves of Almaty region were involved in their collection. The seeds will be planted at the bottom of the dried-up part of the Aral Sea. This is necessary to strengthen the soil and reduce the number of salt storms that plague the vast Central Asian region. In view of the huge area in which the Saxaul trees are to be planted, domestic scientists have proposed the use of aviation. The seeds will disperse over the sea with the help of aircraft, specially equipped for these purposes. Sowing Saxaul seeds is entrusted to Qazakh. In total, it is planned to use 4 AN-2 aircrafts. Aerial seeding is scheduled to start in early December.
Орман алқабын анықтау барысында орманнан тұқым жиналатын учаскені анықтау.
Once the area where the seeds are collected is identified, samples are taken and sent to a special laboratory for study. They are divided into varieties, namely first, second, third, or unfit for sowing.
Класс немесе себуге болмайды деген анықтама беріледі.
Собирать у нас очень сложно, вы видели, что...
It is very difficult to collect. You've seen a specially made device hanging. Saxaul tilts, it bounces. Cleaning these seeds, everything, makes it a very complicated process.
Его очистить вот эти семена.
The planting of Saxaul trees is carried out as part of a large-scale greening program announced by President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. 2 billion trees are expected to be planted in the country in 4 years. The project of Nazarbayev University students won the gold medal at the International Synthetic Biology Competition, gaining global recognition. The know-how of the Kazakh young scientists on treating soil and water from oil spills and other pollutions surpassed developments of the best universities in the world, including Stanford, Harvard, Oxford, Paris, and Massachusetts Institutes of Technology, as well as Johns Hopkins University.
Мы группа студентов в научных направлениях.
We are a group of students of scientific fields who created a team to work on a scientific project. IJAM is the International Synthetic Biology Competition. Our NU Kazakhstan club is the only team from Central Asia. Based on genetic engineering, we are editing the gene of the bacteria so that it produces special substances for bioremediation to treat oil pollution in Kazakhstan.
Для биоремедиации, то есть очистки нефтяных загрязнений в Казахстане.
Наш проект уникален тем, что вот эта очистка может быть более чистой, более экологичной, да, то есть без...
Our project is unique because this treatment can be cleaner, more environmentally friendly, without any toxic effects on the environment. In the future, our project could be implemented and used for conservation and treatment of oil spills, just like in the Caspian Sea in Kazakhstan, and abroad altogether.
Очистки вот этих вот нефтяных разливов, также в Каспийском море у нас в Казахстане и вообще за рубежом.
A total of 355 teams from 45 countries took part in the competition. The scientific project of Kazakh students, which took them nearly 6 months, was submitted to 4 nominations. These are Best Environment Project, Best Wiki, Inclusivity Award, and Best Sustainable Development Impact. In addition, according to the jury of the recognized scientific competition, the scientific development of the NU students entered the top 10 best projects of the year. The territory of modern Kazakhstan is the center of ancient metallurgy. The unique location of Taldysai, which more than 4,000 years ago became a true forge of mining and metallurgical production, proves this. This is evidenced by the furnaces found there, in which numerous products were melted. That is, even in the Bronze Age, Kazakh ancestors were able to not only mine copper, but also make various products from it. According to archaeological research, a large metallurgical center was located in the territory of the present-day Karaganda region. Copper foundry was well developed there. Archaeologists have found knives, punches, needles, and beads there. According to scientists, including foreign ones, there are no such places as Taldysai in the world.
Қазақстан аймағының барлығында археологиялық қазба жұмыстары жүрді. Оның ішінде қоныстардың өзі бір 10-нан асады.
Excavations were carried out throughout Kazakhstan. Thus, 6 sites were discovered where copper work was actively carried out. This proves that the metallurgy of Kazakhstan originates not in the 20th century, but in the early Bronze Age.
Сонау көне кезеңнен, яғни қола дәуірінен, ерте қола дәуірінен бастап дамығандығын дәлелдеп отырмыз.
Металлургия, ее и сейчас очень сложно ею заниматься на нашем уровне.
Even nowadays, it is very difficult to do metallurgy, knowing the periodic table as well as laws of physics and chemistry. And just imagine that people of that time were processing copper ore in large volumes and developing deposits.
Освоили вот эти месторождения.
Already in the 2nd millennium BC, Kazakh ancestors used advanced copper technology. These inventions have become a powerful technological breakthrough, scientists say. Excavations in this area are continuing. International experts are expected to join the work. The private collection of Kairbek Ramazanov consists of more than 20,000 different orders and medals. Having got seriously carried away by phaleristics, a citizen of Kazakhstan has been collecting unique badges for more than 50 years. There are many valuable historical pieces in his collector's box.
Ал енді коллекцияның көбін мен почти мына 80%-дай көбін мен коллекционерлерден жинадым.
Now I have a lot of badges in my collection. 80% of them I bought or exchanged from other collectors. The rest I purchased from travelers. During the Soviet era, many people would come here on business trips, including from the East, West, Caucasus, Siberia, and the Baltic states.
Прибалтика жақтан көп келетін коллекционер. Мен сол коллекциялермен көбін сол айырбастап, сатып алып деген сияқты сөйтіп мен көп жинадым.
The Kazakh collector is often offered to sell or exchange the pieces. However, he decided that he would bequeath his collection to the museum. This way, as many people as possible can get to see them. After all, the pieces from his collection are literally a journey into history. Ramazanov's collection consists not only of military awards, but also cultural, sports, medical, party, space, and other badges. The phalerist plans to organize a special exhibition dedicated to the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence. Kazakh and Spanish musicians performed an evening of classical music on the stage of the Astana concert hall for residents and visitors of Nur-Sultan. According to the organizers, performances that became a kind of a gift for the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence reflected the soul of the two peoples. The invited soloists also noted that beautiful music should always sound on a birthday. That evening, it was played by the symphony orchestra of the Yerkegali Rakhmadiyev State Academic Philharmonic, an eminent performance invited by the Embassy of Spain. Among them is the famous cellist who plays Asturias, laureate of international competitions Gabriel Urena. Such events contribute to further progress and strengthening of Spanish-Kazakh relations and culture, the organizers are sure. This is another opportunity to present to the professionals of the music world a chance to perform live.
Я знаю, что I
know that the culture and music are very important for Kazakhstan. We have excellent performers too, and that is why I wanted to organize this concert today as a gift from the Spanish embassy. Gabriel Urena is a cellist, soloist, one of the best soloists in Spain right now. He's a very young, but already a very important musician in Europe.
Он очень молодой, но уже очень важный музыкант в Европе.